What's good people? Welcome to Whole Views. Thank you for clicking that thumbnail. My name is Corey, and today we're going to be talking about two movies. We're reviewing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem, as well as Elemental. So these are two very family-friendly movies that I wouldn't necessarily get hyped up to see, but my big girl, man, my 9-year-old, she really likes to watch movies sometimes, and so she had been requesting Elemental for quite some time, and we finally got around to sitting down as a family and watching it. So talking about Elemental first, it was pretty boring for adults. Like, I didn't really get much out of it, but there was a parenting gem that was in that movie, and I thought, you know what, that's worthy of doing a video and going talking about. And I was actually interested in seeing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem, but I didn't want to go to the theaters and see it. Plus, the marketing for that movie was pretty bad. I had no idea when the movie was coming out, and then when it did come out, I just didn't have enough time to shuffle my schedule and get in there and see it. I don't think it stayed in theaters in my area very long at all. So I didn't get the opportunity to go see it while it was in theaters, but now it's on demand. I was able to watch that too, along with my two daughters as well. The same little parenting gem is present in Ninja Turtles, just presented in a little bit of a different way. So before getting to the actual gem that both of the movies presented, let's talk about the movies themselves. Elemental, again, I said it was kind of boring for adults. Everything that happened was relatively predictable, but I will say the visuals of that movie and the performances were fine, but the visuals, very stunning look at this elemental world that they built with the fire people, the water people, the cloud people, which were air. It was nice. It was nice enough. The plant people, everybody had their own little aesthetic, and I liked it a good bit to watch. My daughters were captivated by it. Normally, if a movie doesn't have any music, they'll get a little antsy. But this one, for some reason, they were intrigued by, and they didn't move. You know, they laid on the sofa, got their little blankets and popcorn, and they watched the whole thing. So I would say Elemental is kid approved, and for adults, I think it's fine enough to watch. Like, there are no huge themes in it that you might be objective to. It's also not super interesting for a parent. So that's just kind of where I fall on that on Elemental. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I actually feel like it was a pretty cool movie for adults and kids alike. I think my kids were not as into it because they are not as deeply connected to the Ninja Turtles as I am. You know, I grew up with the old 1990s movies, and I watched all three of those as a kid, and some of them were on repeat. I think specifically the first one and the second one, repeat viewings as a kid. So seeing the retelling of that story, really cool stuff. I feel like Ice Cube cast as Superfly and being the villain, very good casting. I like what they tried to do. I like the way that they showed the parallel between the bad guy as well as Master Splinter. I like Jackie Chan as Master Splinter. It was really cool to see him be the dad, because that's kind of what he's grown into in the genre of film. Like, he's no longer the super duper action star. He's the, you know, fading into a new role type of star, Jackie Chan. It was cool. You really felt his presence as soon as he shows up on screen. I really like the fact that they chose teenagers to play teenagers in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It makes good sense. The vibe felt totally right from every single teen, and all the turtles, they really fit with their characters quite well. I think that one was pretty good. I would say Elemental was just all right on my scale, and I would say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was good on my scale. The parenting nugget is the same in both of them, and here it is. The idea that parents should not impress their own ideals upon their children so firmly is something that stood out in Elemental and also in the Turtles. In Elemental, it was more about, you know, the career path idea of it. You know, it's very clear to the main character in Elemental that she should not be doing what she's doing. She cannot run the shop like she may want to, as her father aspires her to take over, and like, she has that internal pressure that I have to live up to my father's expectations. And eventually that gets shed and she pursues her own happiness, which makes perfect sense. In the Turtles movie, it's the similar idea of don't impress upon your children your own ideals to the point where it's negatively affecting them. So you have Splinter, who had horrible interactions with humans, and so he tells the Turtles the whole time they're growing up, like, humans are bad, humans are evil, we want to stay away, we want to get away. And eventually you see that all the advice and all the training that you've given them have had them mature into young adults, and now these young teens are looking towards living a life of their own and wanting to interact with the humans, and you can't impress upon your children so much. And he sees, Master Splinter sees himself in Superfly, who is Ice Cube's character, who is basically saying the same thing, like, hey y'all, I told y'all that humans is bad, just listen to me, we're gonna kill them all. And it's like, the parallels were there, and it was a cool little moment to see Master Splinter see himself in the bad guy, and then he has a turn as a character. So all that stuff is cool, and again, it's a parenting thing for me. Like, as I watch it, I think to myself, I have 2 kids. I can't impress upon my ideas on them so firmly that I can't allow them to express their own free will. So if you are a parent and you watch either one of those movies, pick up on that, because that stuff is really, really overt, and it's really on the nose, and it's the only thing to me in Elemental that a parent can latch on to, because the other stuff is just basically an attempt to be a romantic comedy that isn't really funny. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is actually kind of funny in spots, and the action is really entertaining. So there's more to it than just the parenting gem, but the parenting gem in there was also quite special and really stood out to me. So that's why I wanted to mention it here. And as I thought about both of those movies that we watched over the weekend, I said that's one thing that both of the films have in common. So it's probably cool to just review them both together. 2 movies, animated films, didn't perform super well at the box office. Probably won't be getting sequels from either of them, specifically, certainly Elemental, because I think that lost a lot of money. But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they had little breadcrumbs there. You know, you see Shredder at the end. So I doubt that we'll get anything else from the Seth Rogen helmed Ninja Turtles, although it was a very good attempt, and I wish I would have had the opportunity to see it in theaters, because I didn't even know when it was coming out. Marketing for that one was really bad. So yeah, that's both of those movies reviewed and wrapped up, and gave you a little parenting nugget that I noticed, a little thread in each one of those. So that's all I got for this here video, y'all. I enjoyed Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles a bit more than Elemental. Elemental just all right. Ninja Turtles is good. I enjoyed it. That's all I have. Enjoy yourself, y'all. Guard your heart and go watch something good.